In this video, I'm going to find the derivative of cosine of x using the definition. So the definition of derivative f prime of x for a function f of x is limit h approaches 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. And in our case, our f of x is going to be cosine of x. So using the definition, our f prime of x or derivative of cosine of x, d over dx cosine of x is going to be limit h approaches 0 cosine of x plus h, because f of x plus h, so it's going to be cosine of x plus h, you replace x by x plus h, then minus f of x, which is cosine of x, all of it divided by h. Now you kind of have to remember your cosine formula for sum of angles. So cosine of a plus b is cosine of a times cosine of b minus sine of a times sine of b. This is the formula. So using this, what we are going to get is this. Limit h approaches 0, cosine of x plus h. I'm going to use this formula to break it down. So it's going to be cosine of x times cosine of h minus sine of x times sine of h minus cosine of x, all of it divided by h. Now between this term and this term, there is a cosine of x common. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that out. Factor that out, is equal to limit h approaches 0. If I factor out cosine of x, I'm going to be left with cosine of h minus 1, then plus minus sine of x times sine of h, all of it divided by h. I'm going to just break it into two pieces. So put a square bracket here and put it this way. Now I could use the properties of limit. Limit of difference is difference of the limits, which is going to give me the following, is equal to limit h approaches 0. Actually, let me do something else here. Look, this is going to be limit of this term minus the limit of this term. However, it has a cosine of x which does not depend on h. So it can be treated as a constant kind of thing. So cosine of x, I take it outside. Then limit h approaches 0, cosine of h minus 1 divided by h, minus, again, sine of x is just sitting there. It's not doing anything. It's not dependent on h. Sine of h limit times limit h approaches 0, sine of h over h. Now you kind of have to remember your limits stuff here. Remember, limit h approaches 0, sine of h over h is actually 1, and limit h approaches 0, cosine of h minus 1 over h is actually equal to 0. So that tells me that this term is going to be 0. So cosine of x times 0 is just 0, right? Minus sine of x. Now this is going to be 1. So the net result is going to be that f prime of x is equal to d over dx cosine of x is actually nothing but just this sine of x, negative sine of x. I hope that this discussion was helpful. Thank you very much.